gonna go with quarterly first. The Triple H amending into it, so that's on its own story. That's gonna be its own. Lesnar will start the third. What up, everybody? I'm not on board. Just have it waiting. I might use it. A little better. All right, Sasha, cut that shit, man. We got business to talk about. Cut that shit. Thank you. Sasha, my assistant, man. She's getting better by the day. What's up, man? Hopefully I'm squared up with you guys, man. Hopefully you can hear me. Not that much static. I've blown out every mic in this fucking studio. Hopefully you guys can hear me. We're going to talk several stories, man. One of my favorite wrestlers just got signed by WWE last month. Former ROH Women's Champion. She already got a name change. We're going to talk Tommaso Ciampa in his future. Lesnar has been pulled from Backlash. Bryan Danielson and the Bella Twins now joking about bots. I love it. Everyone, the community's having fun with this. Triple H revealing the average salary for professional wrestlers in World Wrestling Entertainment. And the Rock and Roman Reigns. Rock and Roman Reigns have begun their storyline to Mania 39 in Los Angeles. And it's in a roundabout way, man. It's in a brilliant way. I like the way they started it. The Rock started it. And we're going to talk all that. First of all, man, I want to talk about the WWE releases. Now, first and foremost, man, some people are flipping out. Nobody's been released today. This video is a continuation of what we've been talking about the last month and a half. The unfortunate, so that's the first, everyone can calm down. Nobody got released today, guys. The title doesn't say anything happened today. We're talking, it's an update about the releases that we aforementioned on this channel. And the unfortunate news is we're hearing that nothing has changed. They are still planning the biggest round of cuts in company history, which I don't understand because I get that this is the last year that WWE can use the 19 pandem as a crutch, but things are starting to look on the up and up. So you would have think if they were going to do the biggest round ever, it would have been back in 2020, maybe even last year. But I think once you start getting greedy, you get even more greedy. And before you know it, man, it's 2022. Things are looking better, and you're going to release more people than ever before. But that's still ongoing. We hope that it changes. I hoped a month and a half ago when I broke that news that it was going to change, but nothing has changed from what I'm hearing, man. They're still planning mass cuts. Now, here's the biggest set of news, man. We actually have a date now. Right? And let me get a fucking... Hey, by the way, man, before I get going, check this out, man. BC ain't fucking around no more, bro. Check this shit. I went and got 250 plus pods of coffee. Look at this shit. Oh, we staying amplified, brah. I got fucking Starbucks. I got Folgers. I got Dunkin' Original. I got Dunkin' French Vanilla. I got Starbucks Toffee fucking Nut, whatever the hell that is. And I got fucking 5 boxes on reserve. I'm not fucking around. Coffee. Come get your coffee. Anyway, let's pick one, man. What do you think? Let's let this motherfucker pick what coffee BC gets. Round and round she goes. It's like Halloween Havoc. Spin the wheel, make a deal. It landed on Toffee Nut Starbucks. Boom! This is what we're doing, man. Is that upside down? So that's what we're going to start with, man. I ain't fucking around no more, guys. We're going to pound this motherfucking coffee. All right, let's rock. All right, so. Here we go. So, as my coffee starts brewing, we have a date. This is the official release. Again, this actually came out 24 hours ago, but the original estimated date was Thursday, April 28th. I want you guys to remember that date because this new date tells a big, big story and why this has a great impact on the cuts that are going to happen in a few weeks. Estimated was Thursday, 4/28. Now, coming out of Stamford, Connecticut, through the Business Wire, WWE NYSE, under the WWE bracket, New York Stock Exchange, WWE announced that it will report its first quarter 22 results, 2022, on Thursday, May 5th, 2022. After the close of the market, the company's chairman and CEO, Vincent K. McMahon, President and Chief Officer of Revenue, Nick Khan, Chief Brand Officer, Stephanie McMahon, and Chief Financial and Administrative Officer, Frank A. Riddick, will all host a conference call beginning at 5 p.m. on that date to discuss the results. Now, you guys remember, this is where they do the releases. Now, there's a couple of things I want to go over here. Number one, you say, why do they do the releases on a day they're supposed to be bragging about all the good in the company? Well, this is through Investopedia.com. This is a very brilliant investing financial type of a site. They say, and I quote, some companies might announce a positive development during times of bad news. They might announce a major new customer, large order, store opening, product launch, new hire, ironically, or something big around that same time that the bad news is released. The idea is to convey the image that things aren't that bad. How crazy is that, man? So that's why they do it. For a couple of years now, we've been thinking, why on their biggest day when they're going to talk about all this record revenue, why on that day are they releasing wrestlers? Because they can hide it. Yes, we with budget cuts released these wrestlers that were expendable. But, my coffee is done. Fuck yes. But don't worry about X, Y, and Z that no longer have a job, because I want to present to you A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H, how we're going to make record revenue this next quarter and upcoming year. It's actually brilliant strategy if you're a ruthless asshole like Vince McMahon in business, and sometimes you have to be. I don't know about letting people go during a pandemic, but that's Kennedy McMahon. But that shows you, man, through Investopedia, that quote that I took that from, that's why they do that in business. Now you say, okay, well, the original date was April 28th. They pushed it back over to May 5th. Why are they going to be one of the last ones pushing back? What happens when you push a conference call forward, it's because you have a hidden gem, right? You had some really great numbers. You want to put it out there and you want to get kickstarted into your next quarter. Why would you push back a date from the 28th to the 5th when their market has clearly ended? They have their numbers and will by then. It's because obviously they didn't clinch the numbers that they wanted. Now, McMahon is going to try to exaggerate. He's going to try to make it sound just like he does with the WrestleMania attendance. He's going to make it sound like it was grandeur. But how do you top what you did last year with those streaming service rights and those billion-dollar deals, still cutting deals with Saudi Arabia and going over there? How do you top that before WrestleMania? Because that Q1 will be beforehand. Well, how the fuck do you top that then? Right? So you got to believe that he's not going to be able to tell all of his little fucking minions of shareholders that the company is going to do even better than they did the last quarter. It's going to be highly, highly unimaginable for him to try to do such. So that's what I mean. You see all these tricks. They're pushing their date back to May 5th. But it's still the same thing that we're hearing. It's unfortunate that we're still hearing it's going to be a mass round of cuts. Now, this is going to be the last time he can use the pandemic as a crutch, this whole 19 pandemic, right? This is the last time where he can say, oh, budget cuts, we're just returning to live events. We're still getting our ball bearings in order, so we feel the best thing to do is to size down some more. It's his company. He can do what he wants. But if you're really going to keep using the budget cuts theme in the pandemic 19, well, you got to justify it. But this will be the last year he can do that, guys. And again, that day, man, for those of you that are wondering, that is May 5th is what WWE has announced for their quarter 1 2022 earnings report. And right around then, it could be a day before, it could be a day after, it could be on that day, like I think it was last year. Wasn't it on that day? Or the last 2 years, something like that. And again, I told you guys why they do it on the same day that they're trying to purvey good news, and that was through Investopedia. Some companies might announce a positive development during times of bad news. They might announce a major new customer, large order, store opening, product launch, or something big around the same time that bad news is released. The idea is to convey the image that things aren't that bad. That's exactly what Vince did the last couple of years when he made the mass round of cuts the same day that he was going to announce to his shareholders in the stock market that they made record revenue, but we let go of all these people. We made record revenue, but all these people just went without a job. So he's gonna, from what we're hearing, it's gonna happen again. That's the bad news, right? That the bad news is we have not heard anything that's gonna change. We're still hearing that not only is there gonna be a round of cuts, this is going to be the biggest round of cuts in company history. That's what we heard over a month ago. Nothing that BC has heard has changed. And now we have an official date, which was supposed to be the 28th of April. They pushed it back because clearly Vince, Nick Khan, Chief Financial Officer Frank A. Riddick, and strategist Stephanie McMahon, they're not seeing something good. So they pushed it back again through let me get their name correctly, man. Through Investopedia and through other financial brackets, when you push back an earnings report, it's usually because you ain't seeing the numbers that you wanted. So May 5th, around that time, is when we're going to see these. Now, the good news, if there is a silver lining, is that they do have a couple of weeks to think about what the fuck they're doing. Think about the people they're about to release, whether it's the Street Profits, whether it's Butch, right? I mean, we've seen people take on a new identity like Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, and weeks later they were released. Vince doesn't give a fuck. If he sees it's not connecting, if he doesn't see value in you, you're fucking done. If you think Butch isn't the first one gone, if you think the Street Profits aren't going to be the first ones gone, the title holders, if you think Rico shit and Finn Balor isn't booted in 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, you're fucking wrong. Look at who they've released in the past. They'll take those titles off you one day and release you the next. And isn't it fishy? Isn't it ironic that Balor has a title match against somebody who's got the rocket on his back right now, Austin Theory? Wouldn't it be something if Theory takes the title in the middle of a Monday Night Raw and Balor is released in 2 weeks? I'm not saying it's going to. I'm saying I had the word that we were hurting when I broke that news over a month ago. He was one of the first on the chopping block with Alpha Academy. They were some of the ones I remember at the top of the block. They went and got a title, and then they lost even more matches with the title. So we're hearing the biggest round of roster cuts in company history. We now have a date of when around that's supposedly going to take place, unless Vince changes his mind. I hope he does. You never want to see people losing their job. You never want to see a ton of people at the same time feeling that pit of misery. So what sucks more than anything is the wrestlers know this, right? Or sadly, they probably don't know what's going on. They're hearing the same thing that we're hearing. They know what time of year it is. They know the earnings report is coming out post-Mania. And I feel so bad because we've heard from so many wrestlers in the past that said they feel like they're walking on on fucking eggshells around this time because they're afraid to pick up the call. Right? We hear wrestlers actually say they weren't surprised. They expected it for weeks leading into Mania. How sad is that you're in a fucking company where when it's around your best time of the year, WrestleMania, and they're making everything sound good, the morale is high, Triple H is talking about you could do third-party sites again, we're going to have steady salaries, and then weeks later, you're on this all-time high and you go to an all-time fucking low when you're released. It's fucking sad, dude. And I'm not fucking picking on WWE or throwing shade at them. I grew up loving this shit, watching it, and I hope to for all of eternity. The point is, it's shady business. I feel so bad for you know that roster is on pins and needles right now. They're walking on Asia. They told us this. You think right now, as we are fucking talking about these releases that are going to happen in the next couple weeks, unfortunately, unless somebody can pull Vince McMahon and Nick Khan's heads from their fucking asses and stop them and say, hey, can we find value before we release them? Is there any way before we release Butch or fucking Street Profits or Alpha Academy? I mean, Alpha Academy is being made to look like fucking idiots as of late. So are the Street Profits. So it's clear that they're probably going to be out the fucking door. Vince doesn't care about tag team division anyway. But do we see value in them? If you give BC the Street Profits, if you give BC Otis and Gable, I can work wonders creatively. I can give you 20 different stories. You pick 3 and I'll choose one. But to just release them, or to take an Asuka who's been fucking injured, and the second she's ready to come back, so now you can officially release her because she's back, she's off the injury. You can either add time to her contract, or you can release if you think she's worth too much money, but not worth the assets. So Nick Khan can tell Vince, I know you love her, I know it works that Japan market, but we can save 450 G's on the per year DM? Fucking A! We can clock $1 million on this motherfucker, and Vince McMahon will listen. If you think Asuka is safe when she gets back, ain't gonna happen, bro. Because Vince doesn't know how to use Asuka. Unless he can get somebody like Kyrie, he'll probably pluck Io Shirai and go, hey, she's Japanese. Let's throw them together. He's already done it with the Kabuki Warriors. He doesn't know how to book these motherfuckers. He doesn't even know how to book Sasha Banks, the greatest female talent in the world of wrestling history. Sasha Banks can't even get a defining, definitive WrestleMania moment. She's playing around in tag teams. She's getting beat in 2 minutes by fucking this past Friday after winning the title at Mania. The tag titles, by the way. Then she loses the way she did at Mania, or fucking Friday, post-Mania SmackDown. They don't know how to book these motherfuckers. You think anybody is safe in 2 weeks? So anyway, not today, guy. I know there was some panic before we went live, man. Wait, there's cuts today? What? People are going to my boy Sean Ross Sapp over there on Fightful. They're fucking, what? Sean, what's going on? But no, man, nobody's released today. It's gonna be pretty fucking ugly in a couple weeks. Unless Nick Khan and Vince McMahon can get their heads out of their asses somehow. Maybe Triple H can find his fucking balls and pluck one of them out of each other's ass. There is value in these people, bro. There's value. Why would you do another? And what does the greatest round of mass releases? How is that possible? Last year, wasn't there 15 to 20? So how do you top that this year? Are you going to release 25 people? Just so you can get the ante that you had from last quarter. That's what they're going to try to do, right? Because they had such an amazing last year and quarter. This year is going to fail in comparison because you don't have the same assets that you retrieved last quarter. So in order to try to overcompensate, you're going to fucking get rid of 25 people? Half a fucking roster? Anyway, guys, to bulk up what we have news-wise now on this update, we do have an official day on what could be deemed Black Thursday, May the 5th. That is when World Wrestling Entertainment, in exchange, or with the exchange that they had with their press release with the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, they per diem put out an announced date of May 5th is when Chairman Vince McMahon, President and Chief Revenue Officer Nick Khan, Chief Brand Officer Stephanie McMahon, and Chief Financial and Administrative Officer Frank Riddick will all be hosting this conference call. This is right around the time where we see these releases. So we have the timing. It is going to be a week pushed back from their original date that they wanted to have this conference call, which means Vince is really not happy with the numbers, so he could release 30 motherfuckers in a few weeks. Sadly. And again, we hope that is not the fucking case. Somebody just said Mason. Yeah, they're fucking gone, man. What's up, everybody in the chat? I have a lot of news to go over in a short amount of time. I didn't even make my fucking coffee. It's been brewed for 5 minutes. We have a lot of news to go over, and this is a bonus day. I was supposed to be traveling, but I was able to get a bonus day. I'm not going to be traveling until at least another 24 hours, so I wanted to put all this news out for you guys. But this is one of those situations where it was supposed to be on the 28th. They pushed it over to the May 5th. Vince McMahon is going to be pissed off. Why is he pissed off? Because the numbers are not where he and Nick Khan wanted them to be. So does he just release a lot more fucking people? We'll find out, man. Yeah, you guys said Mason T-Bar. Who else you guys think is fucking on the way out, man? Who else should already be looking for a new job? And we don't want that, by the way, but maybe they can start, like, inquiring into other places. Sasha's not going anywhere. No. Nope. Shayna Baszler could, dude. I don't even think there's that much value in Ronda anymore. She looks like she's checked out, doesn't even want to be there, guys. So I don't even know if there's value in Ronda Rousey. I truly don't. She looks like she's so disinterested. I don't know if Ronda Rousey makes it out of the year, guys. Sadly. But she just doesn't look like she wants to be there. Mustafa Ali might actually get his fucking release. Shotzi's gone. You hear about Shotzi, guys. I feel so bad. She's probably definitely gone, and that's so unfortunate. Shotzi is sitting at home, not with an injury. The latest that we heard is that they just don't have anything for her. And we've heard that so many fucking times, bro. But unfortunately, I don't see how they keep Shotzi. Apollo is definitely at the top of the list. That's sad too, man. Tamina, he may want to run another lap for the next year around the 24/7 catering crusader table. Xia Li, NJP, I hope it's not Xia Li. I love Xia, dude. I mean, if they can just release Mia Yim out of nowhere with no fucking just cause after giving her a shit gimmick, and they're just like, hey, Mia, check you. I don't know if he sees anything in Xia. I always looked at Xia Li like a little Brock Lesnar of the female division. She'll give you stiff shots, she'll wrestle you hard, but she's gonna make it believable as fuck. And she'll do it still professionally, man. Some people do get injured in the process if they don't know how to wrestle and work with Xia Li. Alexa Bliss is not safe. Yeah. Oh, who said that? Brian. Viking Raiders are probably going to be in this. The tag division will most likely get gutted. Alexa Bliss, guys, is not safe at all. Isn't that some shit? Just 2 years ago, you would have thought, PC, you fucking been falling, dropped on your don't piece a couple, 2, 3 times. Alexa Bliss ain't safe at all, dude. I tell you who's not. Elias is not safe. Ezekiel may be. He might reach the line where Vince wants to give Ezekiel some time. Elias, who is the older brother of Ezekiel, I don't think that Elias is safe, man. I think Elias is gone. I think Ezekiel is going to be able to keep his job. Salute, if you guys are catching that one. Matt Riddle isn't going anywhere. No, I don't want to say unfortunately. You never want to see somebody lose their job, but Matt Riddle is wow, is he super annoying. Matt Riddle is a special case, bro, but he's not going anywhere. He is selling some t-shirts. Mad props to Cody Rhodes, by the way. Cody is selling he is one of the highest merchandise sellers already. All 3 of his shirts. How crazy is that? But Cody is probably going to be on the chopping block. No, I'm playing. I'm joking, man. Cody's not. Omos, I don't think is either, and I heard nothing about Omos. Commander Sneeze is probably going to be with Apollo, guys. That's unfortunate. I think they were in the initial list, too, that I had received, correct? A month ago? I know, man, Omos, but Vince sees something in Omos, so somehow Apollo will go first. Asuka would go first. Alexa would go first. Street Profits would go first. Chad Gable somehow would go first. Nobody's safe, guys. I mean, a few people. Your Romans, your Usos, your Sashas, your Codys. Omos, I believe, is. But my point is, in a couple weeks, man, expect the unexpected. Don't be, be sad for the individuals, absolutely. I mean, it's a sad time that everyone loses their job at once, but don't be that shocked, man. BC warned you. The only way that this can be prevented is if they come to the in Stanford, they get around a meeting table and they just think, how can we save all of these wrestlers and allow them to make us a profit? There is a crazy concept, guys. How the fuck do you look at the Street Profits and Chad Gable and Alexa Bliss or any of them and not think, hey, they can make me profit? Yeah, Mustafa Ali is fucking sitting at home. He's so pissed off he had to ask for his release. They were so petty just to fuck with him. They didn't grant it to him. Now that they may have felt they punished him enough in prison, WWE prison, now they can release the motherfucker. So everybody's on the chopping block. Again, I want to reiterate, guys, nobody got released today. This is a continuation of a story on this channel that we broke over a month ago that not only is there going to be cuts, most likely anyway, in a couple weeks on May 5th. We actually have a date now. That's the huge update. That's the next earnings report, which is pushed back a week, which means Vince and Nick Khan are not happy with the numbers. So this is not good. If there was going to be 10 releases, they're going to be 15. If there were 15, they're probably going to be 20 because Vince and Nick Khan now are going to gap up some more money or cap room. But nobody today, this is a continuation on when these releases are most likely going to occur. And unfortunately, we have a date. Unfortunately, we have not heard that anything has changed and that there is supposed to be the biggest round of cuts in company history. That's the bad news. Good news is there still is a couple weeks left. Maybe they will change their minds. I mean, people are going to get cut. That's obvious. So no matter, if Vince McMahon sees the light or not, people are going to get cut. We just hope it's not like 25 fucking names, bro. There's no reason to do this. You're going back to live events in stadiums. There's no reason for it. So that's what I will keep it with that, man. Nobody is safe other than the 5 to 10 names that we aforementioned. Other than that, man, everybody else is on the block. Thank you for smashing that up too, man, as you guys come in and out. I know it's the middle of the morning or afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world, maybe even at night. So make sure you smash that up as we go toward 200 live. I appreciate that and the algorithm, dude. And don't just press it either. Fucking give it an amplified elbow or roll it up. Give that like button a fruit roll up. Nobody kicks out of the fruit roll up, so you're gonna be able to pin the like button. Don't just fucking push it. Fucking roll that shit up. But yeah, if you guys want exact names, man, first of all, even if I knew or had a good idea, I don't think I would release that info because it's not it's not right, man. It's not right. You never want to talk about somebody losing their job. So I'm just going to keep it as a whole and not select individuals. But I made a video over a month ago about people that I was already hearing. So I hope that they, are getting other business ventures in order, guys. Because they might not be with World Wrestling Entertainment past 2 weeks. What is May 5th? Couple weeks, right? All right, so 2-3 weeks. So I really hope that they have their shit in order. And I might go back to this too, man, depending on supers and whatnot and what we need to discuss. But also, that ties into this. Triple H recently revealed that this was to The Athletic, online and paper source. The Athletic is the source. Triple H recently revealed to The Athletic that the average WWE salary for an average superstar is $250,000 a year. So even if you're beyond average and mediocre, even if you have no bright future because you cannot cut a promo, you pretty much suck in there, it doesn't fucking matter. You're getting $250,000 a year. Now, I don't know if you guys think that's too much or too little. Is it worth breaking your back for $250,000? That's $250,000 a year, bro. For getting to live out your dream. I know people that would do that shit for free. But because they have this set salary of $250,000, and they want that's what I mean about this company, and that's what frustrates me, is that they do things like this. They tell you, hey, we have good news. We're going to allow you your third-party sites back. Hey, we have good news. We're going to give you a set salary of at least $250,000. Hey, we're going to give you this and allow you this. And then they turn around and they do something like mass releases and mass cuts. They talk about budget cuts. It's because they make up for it, right? And I know any good business does that. But dude, sometimes you don't have to be that greedy. But they make it seem like they're this great fucking entity, this great company. And then they get it all back on the back end when they put people out of their jobs. So that goes hand in hand with the cuts and releases. I wanted to put that out, man. What Triple H just revealed to The Athletic, that every wrestler at least gets $250,000. Now, once you add in merchandise and everything like that, Roman Reigns is getting nearly, you ready for this, guys? $5 million on the DM roll, dude. What? The fuck, bro? Becky Lynch is over $3 million when you add in all factors. Over $3 motherfucking million. That's some shit, bro. So anyway, that's some more financial. I want to keep all the financial in bulk together. Real quick, guys, Lesnar has been pulled from Backlash. I know a lot of you guys saw the original posters and all that stuff, the advertisements. We are now hearing he has been completely pulled. The only one still on there is where they're coming from. Is that the Dunkin' Donuts Center? Oddly enough, in Rhode Island. I believe that's where Backlash is. But that's the only site still left that is showing anything to do with Brock associated with Backlash. Don't be shocked within the next 24 hours if we even see them take it down officially. And that'll be the last nail in the coffin. No more Brock Lesnar until, I believe the date is July 2nd, which is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. So Brock Lesnar is not going to be at back. I think that's the right call. There's nothing more you can do with him right now. He just took a major, simplistic L at WrestleMania to Roman Reigns. What the fuck are you going to rush for Brock Lesnar in 1 month's time, bro? Let him be gone for a minute, and you, as your creators, you, Vince McMahon, you got to think of something badass when he comes back. This dude always comes back. He gets the big fucking title, buries somebody from the jump, and then he's getting buried on his exit. That's every run for Brock Lesnar. Bury somebody at the start, get buried at the end. Come back, bury somebody at the start, get buried at the end. It's a process that we have to start changing up, man. We have to start thinking different for Brock Lesnar. But he is no longer scheduled for Backlash. He is being advertised for Money in the Bank. I hope this motherfucker doesn't show up to Money in the Bank, because didn't we see this in the past? I don't know if JR9 is up in the chat or not, or anybody. Didn't we see Brock come back and actually win Money in the Bank one year? So what we do not need Brock Lesnar to show up at Money in the Bank and just win the briefcase out of nowhere, not even advertised. So guys, I really hope we don't get that shit. Because that shit we do not need, man. To 2019, you guys are telling me. Okay, so we did see that. So we do not need to see that again. Cut that shit. Vince, never do that again. It happened. I'm sure we all collectively fucking could not stand it. But he's advertised. How else is Brock going to show up? You know Vince wants the simplistic shit. Vince doesn't want to use too much creativity. So he's probably going to have this guy enter the Money in the Bank match unannounced, advertised obviously, but impromptu in that match. And take that fucking title. Maybe they'll have like an interview segment earlier in the night. Didn't he even do that at the Rumble? Wasn't that this year? I think he came in unannounced for the fucking Rumble too. This guy just comes at Vince McMahon doesn't even care about getting creative. How the fuck did Brock get a number 30 spot in the Rumble? How the fuck did Brock just show up to Money in the Bank? But this company doesn't feel like it needs to give us answers. It just gives us a bunch of fucking confusing questions and says, shut up, you don't need the answers. Because it's good shit. Anyway, that's the Brock news. Oh, my girl Roxy, man, this is sad. While I want to get this right on that. Let me just say that, well, no, let me just do this story now. I'm still fresh in my dome piece, man. My girl Roxy, man. She already got the name change, man. That's right. You guys knew where I was going with this. And this is, you guys know how high I am on Roxy. Just ROH, man. Those type of, Jay Lethal, one of my favorite wrestlers in the world. One of my favorite tag teams is the Briscoes, along with the Usos. And one of my favorite female talents in the world, her name was Roxy. Inaugural ROH Women's Champion. Roxy, ROK-C. That's how you spell that. She got her new ring name, man. She is now with World Wrestling Entertainment. She arrived last month. And her real name is Carla Gonzalez. And in case you guys are wondering, BC, did they just give Roxy her real name? Maybe that's what happened to BC. No, her real name is Carla Gonzalez. So, and she's only 20 years old, man. 20 years old. So she has a bright future, even if her name is fucking, Pimper Popper Schnuckenschniekel. She's gonna have a good fuck. That's right. Pimple Popple Schnuckle Schniekel. She can be her fucking name. I don't give a shit. Roxy is gonna have a great career. But the fact that you give her this name, man, it's going to take a lot of us some time to get used to. Perez. Roxanne Perez is her new name. That's right. Snuckle Schniekel. Okay, you know what? Hey, if her name is Schnuckle Schniekel, I think she's going to be shown the door fucking in 6 months. I don't think even she can get that name over. But Roxanne Perez, guys, is her new ring name. The sister of Melina Perez. No, I'm playing. No, knowing Vince will fucking come up with a story like that. Roxanne, so it is no longer, this is, you guys don't understand how, Roxy is her identity, right? I don't think people realize how important a name is. Why people were so frustrated from Walter to Gunther. And you gotta put the accent on it, Gunther. Why people don't like fucking Pete Dunne turning into a Butch. Or a fucking Marcel turning into a Ludwig. Ludwig. Sounds like an evil villain from a fucking Pixar movie. Or Illuminations movie, in the next Minions movie. The evil Ludwig. Maybe that's what they're trying to sell to. But a name means everything, man. It's why Giant Gonzalez was never going to get over. It's why Kevin Nash could not stand the name Choo-Choo Big Daddy Cool Diesel. It's the reason Bastion Booger had a very low ceiling. It's a reason Doink the Clown was always going to be a clown. It's a reason that Duke the Dumpster Drosy's name was always going to remain in the garbage. A name means everything. Roxy is her identity. Roxy. No infringement on The Rock. Not even close. Even the name Rock was spelled R-O-K-C. And now she's Roxanne Perez. BC, maybe it's more toward her real name. Again, no, it's Carla Gonzalez. It's nowhere near her real name. But I think they just changed Raquel's name. Raquel just got called up to the main roster. They took her name and made her Gonzalez, didn't they? I think they took Roxy's real last name and gave it to fucking Raquel. Or no, it was Gonzalez and now she's a Rodriguez, maybe. I think they made her a Rodriguez. So they don't want anybody to be a Gonzalez, I don't think. I don't even everybody's getting the name change, and it's so fucking stupid. It's confusing the fuck out of BC. I think Raquel became a Rodriguez this past Monday, and they took the Gonzalez. And now they will not give the Gonzalez to Roxy because that's her real name. So, any logic that you can find in this is out the window. So they took Roxy, and they made her Roxanne. Now, sometimes what they'll do is they'll allow the performer, they'll give them 10 names, and the performer gets to pick. If Roxy picked this name out of the list of 10, I feel so bad for her because how bad were the other 9? So the only hope, right? Usually Vince does this. Usually he'll cut the last name from people. In fact, or a name, right? He just took Austin Theory. He took out the Austin. They're just going to call him Theory now. They do this all the time. They'll actually cut a name. They did it with Matt Riddle as well. They cut out the Matt. They'll just make him Riddle. They didn't like Shotzi Blackheart. They just made her Shotzi. They do this all the time in WWE. They cut out one of their names and they just go by, and it sounds so fucking stupid, bro. But watch her just become Roxanne. And then, which case, then maybe we could cut that to a nickname, Roxy again. Get it? Roxy? Because, guys, on this channel, I'm probably going to continue to call her Roxy. But this is a former fucking champion, dude. ROH, I know Vince doesn't want to even give ROH the time of day, doesn't even acknowledge them that they ever existed, nor will they ever exist in Vince McMahon's mind. But ROH was a very real organization, and it's the reason that a lot of really good wrestlers are what they are today. Roxy is in that company because of ROH. Pay some type of homage. Roxy is a badass, marketable name. Roxy is going to sell a lot more t-shirts than Roxanne Perez. Anyway, as a big Roxy fan, this is kind of alarming for BC. I can't stand it, to be honest. She just made her debut. It's actually going to be in the latest NXT Level Up show. I think that's on Friday nights, maybe. But she was in action. So if you guys are not familiar with Roxy, you can catch her. I don't know where to catch Level Up for NXT. I think that's on the Peacock network. So you got to go over to the Cock and get over to Roxy, man. But she's incredible. She's only 20 years old. Mark my words, she's going to be in a giant multi-year feud, almost like Austin Rock. It's going to be Roxy and Simone Johnson, the daughter of The Rock, because I believe she's also around 18, 19 years old. They're both doing a lot of training together. And I just feel like that's going to be a twosome that's going to click. And they're just coming up together, being the same age, that era. Roxy and Little Rock, Young Rock. It's going to be phenomenal, man. I can't wait to see Simone and Roxy lock it up, man. It's going to be pretty fun. But that's the new generation. That's the next generation coming out of the Performance Center, PC, NXT. It's going to be Simone and Roxy, man. So that's the latest on that. I want to say this again. I mentioned this earlier, man. The bot situation with Tony Khan, man. Everyone's having fun with it. We did on this channel. I hope you were too. I know some fans started getting all salty about it. Oh, whatever, man. It's not like that story can't be true. It's something Vince would do. Of course. We're not saying that it might not even be some truth to it. We're just saying that to go on social media and leave a whole rant about it is not an owner of a company. That should have never happened. Even AEW talent is making fun of Tony for that, because it puts a lot more pressure on the talent. Even Bryan Danielson and the Bellas, they were at WrestleMania. That's right. Bryan Danielson was at Mania. He's got his fucking wife is there. Obviously all his friends and other fans, everyone's there. So of course Bryan Danielson's backstage and everything. They're all having fun. They were talking about, this is great. They were talking about the Bella Brains. What is that called, guys? The Bella's quiz show. I think it's on their... Is it on their YouTube channel? Bella... What's it called? Hold on, let me get this. Bella Brains. That's what it's called. Bella Brains. And they were talking about Tony Khan's recent bot comment, and I don't want to get too much into it. And the Bellas were mentioning, everybody was talking about that at WrestleMania. And when they were asked about the Bella Brains segment at Mania, Brie responded, "We're real humans, not robots, don't forget." In other words, they don't always know the answers to these segments. We're real humans, not robots. So this led to Bryan Danielson saying, "Oh, wow, okay. Lots of bots I hear on social media." Brie responds, "That's what I hear anyway." I love how they're willing to in public. And I think this was actually on Brie's podcast that she was actually telling the story. And Danielson was actually going back and forth. I love how even the AEW talent, as much as they love Tony, I love how they can laugh at this, right? Because they know it's absurd. And by now, I really hope, because Tony Khan is not going to get a PR guy like we told him to do months ago. He's not gonna. He's too stubborn. So I hope that that enough talent has said, "Dude, we love you. That ain't it, bro. Don't do that again, please. You're adding pressure on us. You're making us a fucking joke." To see the talent actually laugh about it, that's a good thing. That they know that no matter how much they defend Tony Khan, that's just wrong, right? And it's really cool because There's a lot of podcasters and journalists in the community. They didn't touch this story because they don't want to get on Tony's bad side. They want to keep on sucking that AEW cock, just like WWE fanboys do. AEW has the same thing. Don't get it twisted. There's a lot of AEW ones that refuse to take any criticism. They will not touch Tony Khan. Anything Tony Khan does is awesome. And if he does something stupid, they ain't gonna talk about it, or they're gonna make it sound like it was okay. I don't blame them. But it's really cool to see these podcasters and journalists and reporters that didn't touch this story. It's cool to see them get fucking buried today. Because even the wrestlers are fucking laughing at what a joke it was. Tells you. If you ever want to know who's a reputable podcaster or journalist or reporter, see how they covered this Tony Khan story. If they covered it in detail and said straight out how wrong it is, how it can never be done again, how Tony was in the wrong, if they covered it accurately, maybe they're not such a fanboy. After all, if they totally didn't want to cover this at all, yeah, chances are you have a fanboy, not an actual critic of this sport we love. Not an actual reputable, honest reporter, journalist, or podcaster. You probably have a fanboy that you're watching or reading or listening to. BC was always going to be honest from the jump, and a lot of people got kind of salty with that. They didn't want to hear that Tony Khan was doing wrong. There's not too much we can do. It was wrong. His own wrestlers know it. Let's stop the bot shit. Even if there's truth to it, find out all the details, rectify the situation, be a part of the solution, not the problem. But when you rant about it on social and you drag fucking your whole company at that point, it overshadows anything you're going to do on your shows because everybody's going to be talking about how crazy this is. The boss of this company just went nuts. The bots are coming. The bots are coming. But a lot of you guys thanked BC, man, over this last week about covering this story correctly and full of honesty. A lot of you guys thanked me. And dude, I was like, dude, you're thanking me for doing what I do. I took a story that's huge and I broke it down in the realest way possible. But then when I saw how many people were not covering the story accurately or at all, I knew what you guys were talking about, man. And you're welcome. And I will never change for you guys. I promise you that. So that's the fun that they had there. And again, I already went over the Roxy thing. I can't believe that fucking Roxy is now Roxanne Perez. That's a real story. And in a couple weeks, she could become Jumping Jillian Flash. She could become Betsy Brickwall Baxter. Paula, how about this one? In 2 weeks, Roxy is called Paula, the Sea Lion Perez. Paula the Sea Lion, right? Like a bear cat, but it's a sea lion. So Roxy has already been fucking drained of her identity. Let's hope she can overcome that. She has the talent. Tommaso Ciampa just showed up to the Raw brand. People are kind of 50-50 on how they used him. He was just in a backstage. That's right, Paula the Sea Lion Perez. How's that? Vince is going to walk up to Roxanne Perez. Oh, we're going to change your name again, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna be Paula the Sea Lion Perez. It could happen. I mean, we're laughing about it, but it could happen. I never thought I'd see Keith Lee as a bear cat, bro. You never thought you'd see Karrion Kross in leather fucking OnlyFans suspenders, fucking medieval times helmet. You never thought that shit. You never thought Pete Dunne was going to come down in like a fucking 1921 hot dog vendor from the fucking Fifth Avenue? Hot dogs! 2 for $3. $2 for $3. That's a new hot dog deal. Nah, but Butch came out looking like that shit, man. Pete Dunne. You don't think that Roxy, who is now Roxanne Perez, cannot become Paula the Sea Lion Perez? And Tommaso Ciampa, he just showed up. Everyone's 50-50 about it. He spent his whole fucking debut fucking trying to convince Kevin Owens that Ezekiel is Elias. Elias is Ezekiel. Ezekiel, Elias. Elias, Ezekiel. Finkel and Einhorn. Einhorn, Finkel. Finkel, Einhorn. Finkel is Einhorn? Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel's a man? That's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. For those of you that have never seen the movie, what the fuck are you doing? Go catch that movie. But this is a Finkel and Einhorn situation that Tommaso is caught up in. So and he just said, man, can I go over this, man? Of course I can. It's my podcast. So let me go over this real quick. I'll get to the Rock and Roman shit in a minute, guys. I want to go over the fucking Tommaso thing, what he just said. Because this is very telling. Oh, I hope I can find it, man. Hold on. Listen to what he said, man. I think I found it. Hold on. I hope so. All right, so he said, this is Tommaso Ciampa on creative, guys. This is Tommaso's words, and I quote, "Creatively, I'm not very hard to please, in the sense that I just view it as give me 5 minutes, and I'll make it the best 5 minutes I can." I hope, bro, because you're going to get 5 minutes on the very best of days, Tommaso. The very fucking best. Because you ain't getting 3 minutes every week. And I'll make it the best 5 I can, whatever that means, whatever I'm asked to do. He says, if comedy is in my future, listen to this, man, this is so sad. If comedy is in my future, whatever it is, I don't know. I just look at it like there's no ending to this. So if I do comedy for a couple months, it doesn't mean after that I can't go back and do something else that I might enjoy. There's no ending. Tell that to R-Truth. And Ninja Tozawa, Tommaso, they've been chasing a fucking Target toy championship that you would find probably less prestigious than the title you would find in a Target aisle, in a toy aisle. They've been chasing that for 2 fucking years. They were probably told we're only going to do this for a couple weeks. A couple weeks turned into a couple years. You think a couple months of comedy is all you're going to get, Tommaso? It's like, I don't know, it's like Angel Garza saying that we just criticize, even though it's justified 99.99% of the time. It's like, are they not watching the same thing that we are? I know you're in the bubble, but you gotta take your fucking head out of that bubble once in a while to see what is actually going on. If they already have you doing comedy, it's because they look at you as a fucking clown and a joke. And don't think for 1 second that what you're doing this past Monday is not where you're going to be in a year. If you don't go into Vince's office and start demanding shit. Now, this is a contradiction because Tommaso was the one guy that used to go to all the powers that be in NXT, not just H, everybody. And he said, I don't want to go to the main roster. I want control over my creativity to a point, and I care about what I'm doing. I care about my rep. I care about how I'm looked upon as. All of a sudden, Vince says, yeah, well, that's done, kid. And all of a sudden, he's like, okay, what do you want me to do, boss? I mean, it's a good company guy. I get it. But if it's going to ruin this guy career-wise, because if he becomes the latest round of cuts, I was going to say in a year, could you imagine if Tommaso was cut in a couple of weeks with everyone else? Then what? They're just going to remember you as the comedy guy on the main roster. So that's what I mean when I say that how you're being booked matters in your career as a whole at large. That's why I say how you are booked matters, man. And there's some people that don't want to understand that. They're like, it's called being a company guy, BC. Your boss tells you to do something, you do it. No. If you show up to work at the local grocery store and your fucking job is just to pump out fucking seafood, and your boss tells you to get fucking butt-ass naked and start running down the cereal aisle saying, welcome to ShopRite, everybody. You're not going to do that. Unless you had a few beers or whiskeys, maybe. You're not going to do it. That's ludicrous. That's going to make you look like an idiot, get arrested, and you're probably not going to get your next job. You don't just say yes to everything your boss says. Somehow in WWE, fans like to give Vince McMahon an easy pass on everything. He's a company guy. His boss told him to do something. Yes, but he's a fucking different style and type of wrestler. He shouldn't be doing comedy. At least not right from the fucking jump. There's a crazy concept. Angel Garza has the fucking balls, the cojones to say, oh, we're all going to complain whether it's good or bad anyway. He says, I could be going for the 24/7 title, and all they're going to say is he's being buried. It's exactly what's happening, Angel Garza. You're fucking being buried, bro. Your gimmick is a fucking pool boy. You have 50-50 booking at best. In fact, you're 3 of 20. You've only won 3 of your last 20 fucking matches. So how do you expect anybody to watch what you're doing and go, wow, Angel Garza's my favorite? Nobody watches the Detroit Lions go through an 0-16 season and go, wow, I love this team. You got to give your fan base something to fucking latch onto. Grasp. It's not that fucking hard, bro. So you're saying, BC, you're going a little nuts. You're getting too amplified. It's 1 week. He's playing the comedy guy between Kevin Owens and Ezekiel. I laughed, BC. Let's relax. BC, you're getting too wild off the gate. No, I'm being concerned. This isn't even the beginning of amplification. Trust me. This is level 2. Tops. I go to level 1,000. Tommaso Ciampa. Anyway, it doesn't fucking matter, bro. Doesn't matter. If he doesn't get released in a few weeks, which I hope he does not, but even if he doesn't, you know damn well he'll get a name change too. And in 2 weeks, he'll be Tom, the fucking Tom the Toolman Taylor. The brother of Tim, the Toolman Taylor. And he's gonna walk around with a fucking tool belt. Chasing the 24/7 title. Chasing down Dana Brooke with a drill and Reggie with a hammer. Tom the Toolman Taylor. I can already see it. Coming down the aisle from Construction Avenue, Thomas the Toolman Taylor. Got his fucking theme music. He's drilling away. There's his theme music. There it is. That's his theme music. Corey Graves is yelling. He's chasing him. He's chasing him with a drill. Jimmy Smith, he's chasing him with a drill. He's coming around. He's losing his tool belt. It's falling off of him. All right, cut that shit. Cut that shit. That's his fucking theme music. Anyway, we have fun with it, but the sad part is there's truth. I tell you guys, only this company can we say something so ludicrous, but at the same time go, fuck. That could actually happen. Like, there is a good chance that could happen, PC. Real quick, I want to go over the, You guys are making me laugh now, man. I don't know where the fuck we just came up with. You guys are the best, bro. Over 250 on the ups. I appreciate that as we go to 300. You guys are the fucking best. I want to talk about this. Rock and Roman. Did you guys hear about this already? Because you're going to hear about it again. Hold on. Wait a second here. I got the old story of Brock Lesnar. I already went over the Brock Lesnar story, man. All right. Young Rock. You guys ready for this? The Young Rock, the show that's on NBC. By the way, produced, the whole show is ran by Nick Khan's sister. Oh, how it all plays out, right? The Rock buys the XFL. Soon around that time, Nick Khan gets the right-hand man job with Vince. Young Rock's being produced by Nick Khan's sister. Then you wonder why BC feels that Nick Khan and The Rock are going to have something to do with the ownership of WWE within the next few years. I think Peacock, NBC, Universal will jump on board with them as the main investor. And I think Rock and Nick Khan will eventually buy WWE. I think that's what he's packaging it up for himself. Anyway, that's a separate story. I already went over that. I'll probably be talking about that in the future. But Young Rock, Nick Khan's sister's show with The Rock, their latest episode, man. I don't even watch TV. I didn't see the clip. This is just what I am seeing. I do want to see the clip at some point. But Johnson, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, who is narrating the story, this is the year 2032 storyline-wise on last night's episode or this past week, whenever it aired, points out that there's the kid's name. There's a kid, right? He's up on the fucking lap. How does it go, man? There's a child jumping on the lap of the actors playing Afa and Sika. And there's a young kid on their lap. As Hall of Famer Yokozuna hits a Samoa drop on the TV, this kid tries to get somebody in his family to hit him with a Samoan drop. But he doesn't get the Samoan drop by anybody. Nobody even pays attention to him. So The Rock, who's narrating, says the kid at that point points to the screen and says, "Acknowledge me." How cool is that, bro? He actually says, listed Reigns a compliment. There, a young Reigns tries to put, so Reigns, this kid who's playing Reigns, Roman Reigns, tries to put The Rock in a headlock, and he actually says the words, "Come on, Dewey, let's wrestle." The Rock then says, "No, the world is not ready yet. A match that big can happen only at WrestleMania." This is Young Rock and a kid supposed to be Roman Reigns. And he says, "Come on, Dewey, let's wrestle." The Rock responds as a Young Rock, "The world is not ready. A match that big can only happen at WrestleMania." Come on, bro. Roman Reigns points to the TV. I gotta see this clip. He points to the TV and he says, "Acknowledge me." And then The Rock teases the big WrestleMania match a week after Mania and upcoming for the next WrestleMania. I think that is fucking odd. That is a major tease. And I love the way they started this. They're just gonna tease it. It's going to be a big fucking thing without even being said. You remember when, I think it was The Rock and John Cena, they announced this a whole year before. So then for a whole year, you knew what the main event was, but they never really had an interaction. Every now and again, they would say some words to each other. I think that was The Rock and Cena. It was a whole year in advance that they pre-announced it. This, I can already see where this is going, man. They're going to make this huge Hollywood-wise and just the buzz around it before there's even a word uttered by World Wrestling Entertainment, The Rock, or Roman. So I really like the way that was done. And then on the Evil, hold on. There was something on WWE Evil, correct, guys? There's a WWE Evil clip. That's their new show that's been airing right after many events on USA Network. Reigns, it's probably on Peacock as well. Reigns is described as someone who is destined to be one of the greatest superstars of all time. They cut to Peter Rosenberg saying that as far as the greatest Samoan superstars, no one is bigger than The Rock. They cut to the clip of Reigns on The Tonight Show saying that he would fight The Rock, but I don't know if he wants it. Everything depends on what The Rock wants, but there's no doubt down the line, or there's no doubt that the line in The Rock would now heavily showcase what is happening for WrestleMania. Paul Heyman already teased this a couple months ago. That's when we knew this was pretty much official. The way Paul was acting, the way he was answering the question, he pretty much let the cat out of the bag without actually saying it. But you're not gonna have that on WWE Evil without The Rock's knowledge beforehand or finding out and telling Vince, dude, what are you doing? Cut that shit, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And the young Rock, for that episode to come out right around WrestleMania, dude, when he knows that's the match everybody's clamoring. These are teases, guys. This is all being done at the right fucking time. Right after this Mania, as we skyrocket toward the next Mania. These are subtle teases, but they are fucking huge. So I fucking love that, man. You guys see Roman Reigns, he tore up a Cody sign this past Monday. I think it was a dark match on Raw. So after Raw went off the air, what was it? Roman Reigns did come down to the ring. Now he ripped up a Cody sign. And that actually caught a lot of fucking pictures and there's videos and it leads people to think like a Cody Roman Reigns match. Now you guys know, like if the titles were not fully unified, like if it's not 2-1, right? If it's not like, okay, the Universal and the WWE, it's just one title now. It's been given that one name, WWE Universal Championship. If they were two separately defended titles, I would not mind at all, and I think it's the right call to have Cody Rhodes defeat Roman at SummerSlam and get the title, one of them, not the Universal. But it looks like they're just literally unified, in which case I don't see how all of this was for Roman to lose at SummerSlam. Unless you come up with a really creative way to do this shit. But if the titles are separate, not fully merged as one in a unification, and he was going to defend both separately, which I feel is the right way to go about business because you can kill four birds with one stone, have that title defended separately. So all the people saying, oh, we're sick of Roman, and there's so much Roman, and he's winning everything, and he's so dominant, and everybody else pales in comparison. Well, if Cody beats him at SummerSlam for one of the titles, that'll shut up a lot of people. They just made somebody else new over there. There's a star on the horizon. But if it's just merged like I think it is, and there's not going to be separate defenses, then I don't see where that's really going to leak into, man. I don't see him losing that at SummerSlam unless you get uber creative. But if they want to go about it, he ripped up that Cody poster. And, I mean, you could easily take that footage and go forward with that, man. So there's a lot of Roman Reigns big matches on the horizon. Roman versus Cody is huge. Roman versus The Rock is dream match personified. That is their dynasty in a nutshell. The Rock and Roman Reigns, family-wise, those are the two biggest fucking names you could imagine. Fan-wise, I mean, that's just, it's a blockbuster. And there's some people going, oh, the match isn't going to live up to its expectation. Well, you know, a lot of people thought that when Lita returned to take on Becky Lynch. I fucking loved the story, the build, and the match. A lot of people said, oh, if Austin tries to get physical with Kevin Owens, it's going to be fucking shit. Well, they had an actual match. They got fucking beyond physical, beat the shit out of one another, and it was fucking epic. So I think Roman and Rock, and they have a year to do this, I think it's going to be just fucking fine, man. I think everybody needs to relax, enjoy it for what it's going to be. And tonight's AEW is what I'm going to leave you guys with, man. Before I go over to Supers, I know there was a couple of Supers that came in, man, even though we're impromptu. But the owner and president of AEW, Tony Khan, who just loves to be on the right nut of Bully Ray for some reason, this fucking Busted Open show. Never heard it. Don't give a fuck. Bully Ray's got some wild fucking hot takes, and none of them are usually good. He says on TBS, there is a great history of pro wrestling and great wrestling specials, and they used to have 2-hour Clash of the Champions specials. You get a great night of pro wrestling. Tonight feels similar where you've got a stacked lineup. It's going to be all action and great matches. He doesn't get the point, bro. He's not understanding. This is the second week in a row where he's calling like a pay-per-view-esque AEW Dynamite, right? Matches, it's going to be like a pay-per-view. He didn't even crack 1 million last week with a fucking debut of Samoa Joe. A tables match with the fucking Hardys. And so much more. And why? Why? BC is trying to help this company. I want to see AEW succeed, man. There's no reason this company isn't consistently pulling in 1.2 at the bare minimum every week. And we're just trying to get to 1 million? With the fucking roster that he has? He buys every new toy available every other week. He doesn't understand. You need to build stories that captivate. Not just good stories. Stories that captivate. Wrestling that we could see crazy great wrestling down at the local bingo hall any day of the week. Right now, if I wasn't pressed for time when I end this stream, because we got a lot of traveling to do starting tonight, actually. If I didn't have if I wasn't booked up, I would go down to the local bingo hall. I bet you right now my local pizza delivery guy, Luigi Lugnuts and fucking Paulie Walnuts are beating the shit out of one another. It takes more than that, bro. He says, I think tonight we'll focus on big main event action. There will be some interviews in the show, but the way I have formatted, there aren't going to be long interviews you typically have. Not as much time allotted for interviews. At least for people to talk, there has not been a lot of time that I have allotted. So Tony Khan is telling you the way he formatted the show, you're not going to have a lot of interaction between people pissed off at one another. Not a lot of story is going to be told verbally. He's just going to have good wrestling. Minoru Suzuki and Samoa Joe obviously is the one we're going to look for. Maybe even less for reasons of wrestling, more for reasons of beating the fuck out of one another. It just on paper sounds fucking awesome. So it's going to be interesting to see what that pulls for the rating. But other than that, I don't know how much more you're going to... Let me see his card. He's calling this pay-per-view worthy. Let's see. Hold on, guys. I'm going to get the card up for you right now. Suzuki and Samoa, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Red Dragon. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus Red Dragon. Okay, good match. Is that supposed to make people give a fuck? When it's all said and done, right? The people that stroke the cock of these companies, WWE is the same thing. AEW has its separate fan base that just sucks the fucking dick of the company. They're going to be on social media, and I swear they're going to use words like, greatest match ever, brilliant, perfect, epic, flawless, banger. Awesome, amazing. This is what you're going to see on social during the matches, after the matches, right? And BC's going to be over here going, well, I mean, it was a good match. It was good. I didn't see great. I mean, it was a good 12-minute, it was a good 14, it was a good 15-minute match. It was, it had a great moment in this one. Is that why you're saying it's fucking the best match ever? Right. That's what they're going to do, because this is the new thing we like to do. We put something that's just good or even decent, and we make it sound like it's the best thing we've seen since, last week. So, Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, Red Dragon. Good match. Okay, you guys know I'm high on Jungle Boy, dude. But okay, that's your pay-per-view quality. Okay, how about this one? Keith Lee is actually going to be on Dynamite finally. He's not fucking not being used or just on Rampage. He's actually going to be seen on primetime Wednesday night. Hey! Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. And that stemmed from last week when Hobbs got put through the fucking wall by Keith Lee. That's how you tell stories, man. Something epic like what happened there. And then the payoff is right here. You're going to get another fucking tag match. You didn't think the Red Dragon versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus was enough? You're going to get another tag match. Lee and Strickland versus Starks and Hobbs. Good wrestling match, okay. What else you got? Eddie Kingston, my boy, Santana and Ortiz versus Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Daniel Garcia. So if 2 tag matches were not enough, how about a schmaz 6-man tag? And then if you want something huge, my boy MJF is going to be taking on Captain Sean Dean. That's right. Sean Dean is going to put asses in seats. So I'm looking at this card and I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to take 2 hours out of my fucking Wednesday night when I have to travel to watch some good wrestling. Wrestling needs to be more than that. This may hurt a lot of you guys to hear this. I understand. Yeah, obviously, man, what the fuck, man? It seems like an amazing card. No, it's not amazing. It's not amazing at all. I'm seeing a card of some good multi-man matches, I guess. I mean, to me, it's decent. I'm being generous. I think they can be good matches. If you go on social media, you're going to think it's the greatest fucking night in wrestling history, because that's what these fucking people do on social. The journalists, the reporters, the podcasters, right? Every tweet that they put out, every fucking message, everything that they report or in their article, everything they talk about in a fucking video or in a clip or anything, it's always about how every match was a banger. Well, you can go to the local bingo hall and they'll put out one banger after another if it's just wrestling that you want. But what the fuck is this doing for the future of the company, of our interest? For the pay-per-view, what is happening? These are multi-man schmazes. I'm looking at Suzuki versus Joe, and that's the only thing that entertains me. And then I'm hoping that there's other segments that are going to kick off storylines. Tony Khan already said he's not allotting a lot of time for talking. A lot of wrestling. So they're really niche audience that goes around and says, good, we focus on wrestling, and that's who we are, and we will never sell out, and we will never get bigger. Right? It's like local indie bands, you know, the fans of bands that are really underground. And then when they get big and they get #1 hits and singles, their fans turn on them and they say they sold out. Do you mean they grew themselves? They fucking got more success? They allowed more people to find them? If that's selling out, then more people should be doing it. You want AEW to grow, do you not? You can have great wrestling, actually great wrestling, while also having captivating storylines. What is your captivating storyline in AEW right now? And I want my AEW fucking diehards. I know you're in there, man. I got a ton of AEW fans that trust BC with all of their reviews. They trust BC as the #1 guy, and I appreciate that. And I want nothing but the best for AEW. That's why I'm so harsh on them, just like I am with WWE. Who's the biggest storyline that you guys are into right now? MJF and Wardlow, deal. Okay, now that's the biggest one, right? Wardlow's coming out every week. He's coming through the stands and he's taking on security. Wow, okay. But I like it. I like it too. Is that your biggest? You guys are saying the same thing. So we're all in agreement, right? MJF Wardlow's their biggest storyline. And we expect that to continue in the singles match tonight. MJF versus Sean Dean, the captain. Okay, so we're all in agreement. That's their biggest storyline. And that, my friends, is a problem. That's the problem. Nobody mentioned Hangman Page, your world champion. Nobody mentioned your women's champion, Thunder Rosa. Nobody managed to mention your secondary women's champion, TBS title holder, Jade Cargill. Nobody mentioned the tag title holders, the Jurassic Express. BC is amazing at what I do. That's a pat on my own fucking back. I show you guys through all of us coming together. I just don't spew my opinions. I don't give a fuck about my opinion. For anybody that doesn't like BC because you feel I'm too opinionated, I don't give a fuck about my opinions, bro. I'm just like you. I'll take my own opinions and shove them down a fucking toilet with my morning shit. I care about facts, bro. When I say AEW needs to be better, it's because we're seeing a company struggle to hit 1 million when we know. We know that this company should be getting 1.2 bare minimum. We want to love this company and have it kick McMahon's ass so that McMahon will finally wake up. There's no reason it should be struggling, bro. And if you try to say they're not struggling, it's a 3-year-old company that has raised in the over year to years ratings-wise. It's good to be around 900,000, basically. They're not making revenue is what I'm saying. There's no reason that with that much talent, the names that are on that roster, the TV time that they're getting, That's what I mean. They should be bare minimum pulling in 1.2, and they should already in year 3 be pulling in a plus on your return on investment. Everything that you put into this company, you should now start to see the gains. They're not. Tony Khan has already admitted they're actually losing money, just like NXT was. Even in their heyday, when Triple H's NXT, they call it, when it was the best of the best, it was actually recording record loss. People don't realize that this doesn't need to be the case and that maybe Tony needs to change up the strategy. And that's what I mean, guys. None of the title holders did you guys mention. We all said the same thing. Wardlow MJF is probably the best storyline, right? Because the Wheeler Utah thing with that can be intriguing. Bryan Danielson, Mox, and William Regal and their club that just ignited, and Wheeler Utah and the kind of joining them in that mutual respect. I mean, you could say that's been pretty cool, but that load was kind of blown last week when Wheeler Utah and Mox had their 3rd match together, by the way. 3 matches with Utah and Mox, and you wonder why the ratings aren't where they should be. Although Rampage, huge increase, by the way, man. They went up to around 600,000, so. And I always said, man, I see a lot more in Wheeler Utah than I first did. So I'll give that dude credit, by the way. But when you blow your load like that, I mean, where are you going with that story now? We'll tune in and find out. But you can see that the suspense isn't there. Nobody even mentioned that, guys. That's why I took it to you guys, so we could all see together to gauge the audience. And my audience is a microcosm of the larger audience, right? It's like how they do ratings. They don't rate everybody's household, but they do a large microcosm, and they're able, through that study, to gain the larger base and where they stand. That's why I do polls on this channel and shit, man. MJF Wardlow is it. That's the problem. And now you're going to put together a card like this. We're going to we're going to take 2 hours out of our fucking nighttime, prime time, to watch wrestling. Just wrestling. Pro wrestling is more, man. Larger than life characters, the captivating storylines that leave us at the edge of our seat, the moments that when we go off the air, you cannot wait to tune into next week. You don't just want to watch next week. You have to. You need to now watch because of the cliffhanger. But yet you go, if you were to go online or anything, you would think that AEW, I mean, they're putting together top to bottom electric shows that are captivating the world. And then when the ratings come out, nobody wants to talk about them. It doesn't matter what the ratings say. We already know it's the best thing in the world. We know that he doesn't need to change anything. And if it wasn't for WWE's bots attacking Tony, he would be even larger and farther along, Beasley. No. If you truly love AEW, listen to my words, and let's come together to try to make it better, man. They could be pulling in a revenue on the plus side. They could be getting 1.2 bare minimum. Tony Khan is his own worst enemy right now. It's almost like he's just being a mark. And then we sit there like nerds on a Wednesday night and watch wrestling action. With who? Who? A bunch of fucking tag matches? Jurassic Express and Red Dragon, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland versus Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. A 6-man, Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, Jericho, Hager, and Garcia. Whoa. It's a night of multi-man fuckfests. And I'm supposed to sit there and fucking nerd out about it. No, there has to be more about pro wrestling. And the faster that people stop sucking the dick of their respected company that they're flying the flag of, right? You have the WWE ass kissers, the fanboys, the shills, the bitch boy Bradens, and they wave that flag. And then over on AEW, you got the ones that can't take any criticism, and they wave that flag. How about you meet in the middle and you just want good pro wrestling shows, which means everything. No, the show does not fucking intrigue me. I have no doubt that we're going to get some good action tonight, guys. Some good matches. But you watch how some of the people in this community talk about tonight's fucking card. Like you can't see any of it at the local bingo hall. Has to be more than that, man. It has to be. I asked you guys, what is the biggest feud in AEW right now? And we all pretty much said Wardlow and MJF, maybe? Nobody gave a fuck about the title holders. Nobody gave a shit about Hangman Adam Page, about Thunder Rosa, Jade Cargill, Jurassic Express. Nobody said CM Punk. Nobody mentioned Bryan Danielson. Nobody gave a fucking iota to Samoa Joe. Nobody mentions Jeff Hardy. No, not all of these signings. It makes you see this shit, right? And when BC says, hey, we could just get better, I'm not even insulting or dragging AEW. I like it. I review it, even though my policy was always I only review a show if it's a million. So a million in the rating. It has to be a million and up. That's why I don't do NXT every week. You know what I mean? But I go out of my way to do AEW anyway. Why? Because I want to back it from the beginning, which I have. But if you guys are not going to help BC try to make this better and tell Tony Khan, dude, we love what you're doing to a point. You do have to fix and grow in other areas. If you're not going to help BC do that, then good luck fighting for 1 million viewers every week or 900,000 viewers. Good luck not returning a profit. Good luck not getting a profit going into your 4th year. 5th year. I'll be over here just like, hey. I tried to tell everybody. Everybody cried. Hey, that's badass, man. We're almost at 300 live on the ups, dude. If you haven't yet, don't just push it. Fruit roll up or give an amplified elbow to the like button, please. I want you guys to really pin that son of a bitch. And the fruit roll up in pro wrestling, nobody kicks out of the roll up. So that like button will never survive that. But if you want to have fun with it, give it an amplified elbow. And we'll blast past 300 on our way to 4. Oh, we just went over 300. You guys are fucking great, dude. Let's go to 400 now live. Oh, man. What an impromptu stream, man. I know I had some supers, I believe anyway. Let me go over to, Oh, you know what? Big Nang. I don't know if Big Nang's up in here, man. Last night, or when did I do my last live stream? Maybe it was yesterday's Raw review. Big Nang, this came in right when I was going off the air. Big Nang had a 5 spot. Says, throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care about Raw. I think everybody kind of puts their hands over their face if somebody's in the room with them, like I'm embarrassed about what I'm watching. I think that's how we usually watch Raw. But once in a while, if we're just trying to entertain ourselves and do the wave in the live crowd, then we'll put our hands up in the air, Big Nang. Sheriff Rivers, 5 spots. Stay safe. Some tragic shit in NYC. Oh, yeah. The subway. Yeah, when you're around New York City, man, we kind of live... that's just how you live. You know what I mean? Every day is a security risk and all that. It's just what it is, man. That's why I say that badass people come from New York, not by choice, just because you're forced to be badass. New York City is it's tough people because you mentally have to be just as tough as you are physically. But yeah, man, that was over in Brooklyn, man. Much love and respect to everybody in Brooklyn in that subway tragedy. That's a shame. Jeff Rivers, Trev Reigns, the Tribal God, started the chats this morning, or when we started this stream. Trev Reigns with that 10 spot says, I would not be shocked if Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Pete Dunne, not naming him Butch, Finn Balor, who's the US champion, Rico Shit, who's the IC champion, all get released. No releases thus far have shocked me. Yeah, Trev, every one of those names is on the chopping block, bro. None of them are safe. There's a few names that are safe. Your Romans, your Sashas, Charlie Flairs, people like that. But everybody you just named, Trev, Asuka, Shayna, Pete, Finn, Rico Shit, even with the titles. Finn Balor's probably going to lose his this Monday against Austin Theory. All of them, guys, just like Trev said, don't be shocked if they are on the block in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is. I think it's 3 weeks from today, actually. That's when you can expect the next round of cuts. Unless people can get to Nick Khan and Vince McMahon and pull their heads out of their asses and say, instead of releasing them, is there a way that we can profit from them? Give them good shit where they can return an investment for us. I don't see that happening, but they have 3 weeks to try to change their minds, and hopefully this doesn't end the way that we think it is going to with these talents. Pile driver finisher 2-spot. What up? Salute BC and Amp Unit. Dude, pile driver, I appreciate that. Salute right back to you, dude. Darian Romero, $4.99. Can they just release Charlie Flair for lack of selling? Darian, isn't it crazy how you get all these releases? Some of them befuddle us. The Carrions, the Keats, the Mickey Jameses, the Mias, the Scarlet, all of them, right? It kind of just befuddles us. And then you just see Charlie Flair, no selling as always, in main events when there's no connection. It's not even shade to Ashley Flair. It's kind of fucking sad that Sasha Banks gets the booking that she's gotten the last 5+ years. And Miss 14-time champion over here, Mrs. Main Event fucking Charlie Flair, she gets the world handed to her. When it's clear, Sasha Banks is way more relatable. Way more of a connection with Sasha. I'm just using Sasha as an example, by the way. I can use Liv Morgan. Shotzi Blackheart would make more of a connection than Charlie. But Vince is set on trying to make Charlie work. Darian Romero basically says, can we trade the 25 that are going to get released or whatever it is and just collateral, right? It's like a player trade. Can we save the 25 here and just give you Charlie? Again, you don't want to see people lose their jobs, man. It's so obviously we say this in a joking manner, but I mean, it's like when Lana and Nia Jax got released. Those were the 2 releases we're like, it took you this fucking long? You're going to release people like Mickey James and Keith Lee, but you're going to fucking keep Lana and Nia Jax? Dante Jaron, 23, $4.99. What up, Dante? Mustafa Ali, Xyl Lee, Shotzi, Apollo, his honey. Oh, Apollo and his homie, not his honey. I was thinking about Ricochet's honey, who's the ring announcer for SmackDown, I think. So Dante Jaron 23 says Mustafa Ali, Xyl Lee, Shotzi, Apollo, his homie, which is Commander Sneeze, T-Bar, Mace, Nikki Ash, Drew Gulak, 24/7 Crew, parentheses, not R-Truth though. Those are all who I feel might get cut. I'll say the same thing Trev Rain said with you, Dante Jarrett. All those names are on the block, dude. No question. And that is sad. We don't want to see anybody lose their job. We hope with 3 weeks remaining that they don't somehow. But I don't see how any of them make it past the cuts. I'll just take Nikki Ash for you, right? Nikki Ash has said before that she knew she needed a character change because she felt she was out. She knew, just like so many other wrestlers, that the cuts were coming. And she said, I had to think of something to try to save my own ass. So that gives you an insight into the locker room, man. They all know. Dave Mealy, what up, dude? $4.99. Roxanne's name will be changed to Paula the Pineapple. Her finisher? You guessed it. The Fruit Roll-Up. LOL. Well, then she's going to have to combat every other wrestler who uses that finisher. And Dave, did you hear Xavier Woods this past week having fun with it? Because even he has to laugh at it. He actually deemed that Fruit Roll-Up finisher his finisher, called the Backwoods. So, and I'm sure Brad Maddox and Paige know all about the Backwoods, but that's another fucking story. But everybody's claiming the Fruit Roll-Up now, man. And if she becomes Paula the Pineapple, she'll be the next in line, Dave Mealy. But I have her, Dave. I have her name being changed. That's Roxy, in case you're just joining the stream. We talked about Roxy, former women's champion, inaugural, going to WWE last month and already getting a name change. Her name is now Roxanne Perez. So Dave Mealy has her as Paula the Pineapple. I have her being name changed to Paula the Sea Lion Perez. The fucking Sea Lion. And don't forget Tommaso Ciampa. He'll be Thomas the Toolman Taylor, the brother of Tim the Toolman Taylor. Remember Home Improvement? Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa will be Tom the Toolman Taylor with his theme music. Here's his theme music with his drill. He's going to chase people with a drill and a hammer. It's Tommaso Ciampa! He's got a drill! That's his cut that shit. That's his theme music. That's Tommaso when he becomes Tom the Toolman Taylor. I can already see it at WrestleMania. He's going to have fucking Tim Taylor, the guy who played the Santa Claus. Who is this? Tim Allen, I think his name is. He's going to have him in his corners because Vince is going to think Tim Allen is going to bring him all this fucking revenue for WrestleMania. But yeah, Tom the Toolman Taylor is going to be Tommaso Ciampa, and he's going to be fucking, that's his theme music, just a drill. We'll set up a fucking SummerSlam match with Chainsaw Charlie, Terry Funk. Anyway. Dave Mealy, much love and respect, dude. Big name, 2-spot. Nah. Hey, goodbye. Oh man, you're doing the chant for all the released talent that has not yet been released, guys. But unfortunately, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we do feel like there's going to be a lot of releases. Just like the last several years. I already told you guys why this happens too. If you don't know exactly why this happens on the day of it's supposed to be a big day where they're talking about all the earnings that they've come in and all the great stuff that's supposed to happen for the year. Right? This is where you're like a used car salesman and you tell all your shareholders in the stock exchange, you say why to invest in us. So why on a day that's supposed to be all positives do they have a day of gloom and release people? I told you guys why they do that at the beginning of the stream, so go check it out. But, yeah, Big Nang already has the music playing for all of the dearly released, sadly. Enforcer 2K9 5-spot. Rock and Roman doesn't need the titles involved, since Rock can't win the title anyway, so it could make sense for Cody to beat Roman, the royal family. Well, that's what I'm saying, Enforcer 2K9. I would prefer it to be one title, though. I still want a title to be online. The whole thing is The Rock is coming back not just to avenge the family, but one last title victory. It's the one thing illuminating over him. And even if he wins it, he could come out the next day and vacate it and say that he does not feel like it would do it justice. With his schedule, this business, this company deserves better, and he officially retires, but as champion. Or you have Roman clearly get the fucking Rocket, as if he didn't have it before, and he actually beats Rock. But either way, I'm okay with a title being on the line. But you're exactly right, Enforcer. It doesn't need to be. My point is, if Cody is the guy to take the title off of Roman at SummerSlam, the one thing I ask, and all of you I know ask, just do it uber creatively. You have to do it uber creatively. Otherwise, all of this whole time that Roman has been beating one person after another and gaining this almost untouchable aspect of him, it was all just to culminate with Cody beating him at SummerSlam. Something isn't right. You see what I mean, Enforcer? I'm a huge Cody fan. You know that. Even in AEW, one of my favorites. When he was Stardust in WWE, one of my favorites. Legacy, before Stardust, one of my favorites. But even being a huge Cody fan, something doesn't feel right if he just simplistically beats Roman at SummerSlam. There has to be something epic that transpires to take the title from him. I wish that it wasn't totally unified and that Roman was just defending 2 titles. I think that's an awesome fucking concept. And then Cody beats him for that WWE heavyweight title. But he can keep the Universal and set that up with The Rock. I hope you're understanding. So there's a lot of ways to go about it. But that's a long-winded answer. Enforcer, you're right. It doesn't need a title. And if Cody beats Roman, I can absolutely be on board with that decision. But just do it correctly is all I'm asking. Do it in an uber creative way. Ashley Steggles, $8.99. What up, Ashley? $8.99 says, September 3rd, I hope VKM puts the NXT UK Championship in the main event 30 years after Brett and Davey for the IC Championship. I don't know about the main event, Ashley. It would be huge for that crowd. But I believe that is actually going to be a premium event. I think that's actually going to be one of the big pay-per-views. So I don't know if Vince is going to put that type of match in front of a crowd that a lot of people don't even know NXT UK exists. That's sadly the truth. But I understand those of us that do know the goings-ons, of course, we wouldn't mind it. But this is a premium event. It's going to be hard-pressed for Vince to make that type of decision. He's all about the profit. I don't think he wants his pay-per-view premium event to go off the air with the NXT UK title. But yeah, common sense and logic would take you and steer you in that direction. Pile driver finisher, 2-spot. Tommaso Ciampa, Pat on your back, BC. Well, oh, my Tom the Tool Man Taylor comparison? That's what he's going to turn into. I mean, he's already a comedy act. It's sad that he's already giving interviews saying, hey, if I'm supposed to be comedy, I'm comedy. Angel Garza said the same thing. Hey, I'm chasing the 24/7 title. They're going to claim I'm buried. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. Do you not see what's happening to your own career, bro? Dustin Bonds, $4.99. What up, Dustin? I feel that not running live, non-televised events as a company hurts them. They need that additional promotion and exposure as a company. Dustin, was that when I was talking to AEW? I feel that not running live, non-televised events as a company hurts them. Because WWE does that too, but AEW does a shit ton of matches that they're just using for the library. So, Dustin Bonds, I don't know if you're still up in here, but are you talking AEW or WWE? Because, yeah, that can hurt both. But especially... Oh, Dustin Bonds says AEW. Okay, yeah, absolutely agree. That hurts them way more than WWE because WWE is already established. So, no question. That hurts them tenfold. I mean, Tony Khan has them sometimes filming 6-7 hours because he's trying to get all these dark matches, YouTube matches, elevation matches, whatever the fuck. And people are like, fucking hey, dude, people are trying to head for the exits. Did you guys see the NXT tag titles change hands last, or they were vacated, so it's not changing hands. Beautiful Perfection or whatever the fuck they're called. They do have a good look. Matches were good. I understand, you know, I can't dog them out after what I did see. But did you guys see, like, fans started immediately leaving right after, man. It was, I haven't seen that in a long time. Like, they were in a hurry to get the fuck out of there. Pretty deadly, yeah. What I call it. Beautiful Perfection. Pretty deadly. Yeah, so you have Toxic Attraction and Pretty Deadly. Oh, man, I tell you. It's only a matter of time before we get Tom the Toolman Taylor. It's 4-on-1! When somebody needs to save Rico shit! Oh my god, it's Tom! It's Tom the Toolman Taylor! It's Tommaso Ciampa! Now known as Tom Taylor! He's got his drill! Everybody is running! Rico is shaved! He's saved! I'm having too much fun with it. Tommaso Ciampa's new theme music when he gets his name changed to Tom the Toolman Thomas. Yeah, I absolutely agree, though. I think that was Dustin Bonds, right? Dustin Bonds, I definitely agree with that. Probably a long-winded answer, but most of mine are. Unique Butterfly, 5-spy, Unique. I know that TK's roster is overloaded. That's putting it mildly, Unique Butterfly. But it's going to take someone like Wyndham Rotunda to come in and spark AEW. He can definitely tell a great story. I agree. He's the one guy. I said that, Unique Butterfly. I love Samoa Joe. Jeff Hardy, even though I'm really hard on him because I've been through a lot of the same struggles that he went through and is probably still going through and always will. But, you know, I love these dudes, but unless it's done like to perfection, they're not going to move the needle. And everybody is confused. Wow, Tony went and got every single big acquisition he could on the free market, on the free agency list, and yet the rating never fucking budged. They still can't hit 1 million consistently. And I don't know why people are so shocked. If you just listen to BC, I'm telling you why. You can't just bring them in and then overshadow them within one fucking week and then bring in a new toy and then put them on Rampage stuffed in there with their 500,000-ish audience. You can't do things like that. Keith Lee debuts and then he goes on his fucking honeymoon. Well, here's a crazy concept. Wait until after his honeymoon to bring him in and then carry the momentum every week. On Dynamite, not Rampage. That's just one example of many. But you guys see where You guys see where they go off the rails, man. Just signing new talent is not going to save the day. Putting on good wrestling match after good wrestling match after good wrestling match is not solely going to get you to a profit in the company. And again, Tony Khan has already admitted they're not seeing any profit and they're in their third year. They're hoping at this trajectory that in year 5 they can start to make a good profit. And that's even in question. So you bring up what Unique Butterfly is saying. If you bring in someone like Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, that is somebody that is going to absolutely fight back with TK. Not fight like, dude, like, why did I hire this guy? He's a bundle of problems and issues. He's going to say, trust me with this character. Let me do X, Y, and Z. I'll meet you halfway on this. I'll do it your way on this, but do it my way on this. And Wyndham Rotunda will add that, and you have to have entertainment on these shows that is just more than the wrestling. You have to, guys, or you're never going to broaden out. And you're always going to be an insignificant little fucking sideshow stepbrother. You know, the brother, the younger brother you just stuff in the fucking corner. AEW will never stop being the younger brother if they don't fucking grow. Anyway, that's a long-winded answer because I love Wyndham Rotunda. He's one of my favorite dudes. Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda is one of my favorite fucking dudes. He is somebody that can flip AEW upside down. But not if TK does it his way. TK will bring in fucking Wyndham, and then he's on Rampage the next Friday. He's on fucking Elevation. Mr. Black Ice 22, 2-spot. The Phillip. Flathead. Oh, the Phillip, the Flathead. The Phillip Flathead. JR voice. Oh, the screwdriver? The drill and the screwdriver for Tommaso's new ring name, Tom the Toolman Taylor. Oh my God, I can't believe it, Tony! It's the Phillip Flathead! Tom the Toolman Taylor! If you're just joining, good timing. It was very good. Sasha, my assistant, she's getting better. If you're just joining the cast, that is Tommaso's new theme music. Soon, when he gets his new name change. Tom the Toolman Thomas. Or Thompson, knowing Vince. He's going to come down with a tool belt, a little construction neon vest, you know, like when they're trying to stop traffic with the stop sign. You got the construction guy with the hard hat. He's got the little vest. He's got his tool belt. Here's Tommaso Ciampa. He's got his drill, just like Chainsaw Charlie back in the day. And here's his music. He's chasing motherfuckers. Yeehaw! She looked away for a moment. I'm like, all right. I'm having too much fun with Tommaso's new name change, guys. Mr. Black Ice 22. Thank you, guys, man. What a fucking stream, man. Impromptu as fuck, but you guys are the fucking best. Unique Butterfly came back in with a 5 and a 2, by the way. Unique Butterfly says Wyndham versus MJF came to the top of my dome piece. Wyndham versus Malachi is another good one. But it's like what Wyndham said. It has to be the right place and time. Because Wyndham knows his worth and where he's going to be best utilized, Unique Butterfly. But yeah, Malachi and Wyndham is something that should have happened in WWE to the highest proportions. Never even. MJF and Wyndham Rotunda, of course, Wyndham would have to play the role of the face. I would have him come in straight heel status. Even getting cheered, I would have him diabolical to the point where you have to see the face overcome the great evil, Wyndham Rotunda. So I would hold off on the MJF feud. But yeah, there's so much fun you could do with it. Do I feel that Bray Wyatt, Wyndham Rotunda, is better served in WWE because of the entertainment factor he brings? No question. But he's also the same entertainment factor that is desperately needed in AEW. And don't say that you don't want AEW to be that kind of company, BC. They had people like Abaddon. You got the fucking Darby Allins. You got Orange Cassidy, who was a fucking $160 soaking wet, puts his hands in his pocket and does little kicks to people's shins. And everybody's okay with it. You got Danhausen coming out and everyone's getting a good laugh. But Wyndham Rotunda is what you don't want in AEW. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You get MJF and Chris Jericho doing the musical Broadway that they did, and everybody's okay with it, but WWE does it, entertainment sucks. Well, you were just doing the fuck? Fuck you talking about? They have the lights going out for every situation. Sean Spears used to get lights out for everything. Cody get lights out for everything. Tag teams get lights out. Everybody gets lights out, so they do the entertainment thing. They just don't do it the way it should be. And then Unique Butterfly says, Tommaso Ciampa, a.k.a. Tommy Cipriani or Tommy Falcone. I'm going to go with BC's is a lot better, Unique. Tommy, the Tool Man Taylor. Don't hit it. Don't hit it. We've had that music too much. That drilling is going to be in all our fucking dope pieces. If he doesn't, Unique, if he doesn't become Tommy, the Tool Man Taylor, then he's going to be Thomas the Tank Engine Thompson. Thomas the Tank Engine. Anybody remember that cartoon? Vince will really embarrass the motherfucker. He'll bring him out as like a conductor. That'll be funny when fucking the hot dog salesman from 1926, Butch, is walking up the aisle, and walking toward the ring is fucking Conductor Thompson. Fucking Thomas the Tank Engine Thompson. And he's got his conductor's hat. He's got his little badge, Conductor Thompson. Jimmy Fingers 2019. Jimmy Fingers. Jimmy Fingers, what up? Jimmy Fingers at the tail end of the stream. Hope you caught most of it, man. We've had a wild time, a fun time. Middle of the morning or afternoon, or maybe even evening, wherever you guys are in the world, man. This has been a fun 2-hour impromptu stream. I was supposed to be traveling, but that got pushed back a day, so I said, why not go live with my unit? 2019 by Jimmy Fingers 19 says, Wyndham coming right in tonight and ambushing Hangman for the title right off the bat for a title program at Double or Nothing captivates me. And pivot Punk to a program with Samoa Joe. Get House of Black to feud with Mox and Bryan. Ding, ding, ding. Love it all. And I'm wrestling entertained and I'm sports entertained, Jimmy Fingers 19. I don't give a fuck what you want to call it, but that's a wrestling show on a primetime 2 hours that I, a grown adult, would sit my ass down and watch and enjoy. Jimmy Fingers, I love it all. Let's fucking rock that booking, bro. Jimmy Fingers 19 just captivated the shit out of BC in terms of AEW than anything AEW has done in fucking months. Wyndham and Hangman right off the bat just fucking... And what did I tell you? I want Wyndham coming in as a heel. Even though he's going to get cheered. We know that. But you want to see... I mean, he's so fucking devious and just the evil in him that you need to see Hangman one-up him eventually. And he takes out fucking Hangman Page. Usually we don't like to see somebody come in and thrusted right into a title picture. But fucking A, nobody's going to tell Wyndham that he ain't fucking deserving or shouldn't be there. I certainly ain't. You ain't. If I ain't, Tony Khan's not gonna. That fucking works. On top of that, you want fucking CM Punk and Samoa Joe to fucking come to blows and bang it out? And then you're talking House of Black, Mox Bryan? Let's rock. Let's kick it up. That's what I mean. AEW is just as it's a better show than Raw, no question, right? I always tell you guys, what's my saying? Your morning shit is better than Monday Night Raw usually. But AEW is just as formulaic in a lot of ways. You get the good wrestling, right? And the nerds all go to social media and they all nerd out with one another on Twitters and stuff, right? Wow, this match was a banger. Wow, this was amazing. This match was perfection. This match was flawless. This match was brilliant. And by the end of the night, the whole show, you would have thought it was the best show in wrestling's history. And you go back and watch it like BC, who knows how to actually critique pro wrestling, and I'm going, that was good. That was a decent match. That was good. A great moment, but just a good match. That one sucked. That was a decent match, and that was good. Where the fuck is everybody coming up with perfection? I could see all of that at the local bingo hall. So AEW is actually formulaic as well, but just because it's better than Raw, it gets a bigger pass. But I'll come out of a 2-hour Dynamite most weeks. You guys want to know how I come out of Dynamite? On Raw, I come out of it pissed off. Like I just wasted 3 hours. Dynamite, I'm a little less pissed off at least, right? Because I did see some good shit. But I come out of a Dynamite thinking, I never need to see this show ever again. Like if you're waiting at an appointment for something, your car is being done, or you got to get a checkup on something, and they're replaying the episode, there's nothing on that you would need to see again, right? That's how I come out of most, and that's with supposedly great, epic, flawless, perfect wrestling matches. But HBK and Undertaker, I've wanted to see 1,000 times because it's that epic in perfection. Bulldog and Bret Hart, Steamboat in Macho Man, many Guerrero matches, many Eddie Guerrero matches, for instance. I mean, these are matches I would go back. I can't say that on Dynamites. So I come out of a Dynamite and I think, this is usually me, right? Usually Jim Ross is going, okay, everybody, he's Excalibur, he's Tony Schiavone, and I'm Jim Ross. Thanks for joining us tonight. So long, everybody. See you next week. So there's no cliffhanger. There's no excitement. A title can just change hands, and Jim Ross is like, see you guys later. I'm gonna go drink some waters now. Maybe I'm gonna spike it with some electrolytes. And that's it. So BC's like, okay, that was 2 hours. I don't know. Nothing is exciting me. I don't need to wait an extra week to see Wardlow come through the crowd and fight security again. You know what I mean? But Raw, WWE has scarred us for so many years that any little thing on AEW, people just rock out, man. They get a hard-on for it. Oh my God, Wardlow's through the crowd. And then they go on social media and they act like fucking the pro wrestling world is on fire. FTR and the Young Bucks put on a banger. It was a good tag match, at best. Half the motherfucking thing was Tornado. All four motherfuckers were all over the place. That's not even traditional tag. But we're gonna bust a nut on everything they do. Not on this channel, bro. Very, you know, I'm the only one to be this truthful. And I gain an audience from that. And I also lose an audience from the people. There's a lot of people that don't take that criticism well, especially for AEW. Because they thought this was going to be the greatest thing since BC Amplified or sliced bread or stuffed crust pizza. But we start to see over the months and weeks that AEW has a lot of holes in the game. They have a lot of areas where they need to get better on. And all we got to do is help them get there. But if you can't accept the criticism, then we can't get there, guys. And TK will never change these things up. Also, man, Unique Butterfly with that 5 spot. Even The Undertaker said he wishes Wyndham to return home to WWE. I think he is the only one who openly recognizes the worth and talent of Wyndham. Yeah, and Unique Butterfly, Undertaker knows what BC knows. He is best suited in a place like that, where you can get a lot more wild. But my point is, AEW has done some wild shit too, and they could use somebody like Wyndham to fill in that category that is desperately lacking. So Unique Butterfly, Undertaker knows his shit. Unique with another 10 spot says, whether people want to admit or not, VKM has been the standard for professional wrestling. He blended pro wrestling with entertainment, and that's what is needed. It's not selling out, it's an expansion. I feel that way absolutely, Unique. I like the skilled pro wrestling of it, right? In 2022, you have athletes that are skilled to the next level, right? Immense talent, immense skill. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, a lot of the wrestlers from even Tito Santana, fucking the Mountie, especially my boy, the Big Boss Man, Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, Mr. Perfect. A lot of them will tell, okay, maybe not Perfect. I bet you Perfect can hang. But a lot of them will tell you they can't hang with this type of fucking Finn Balor, Rico shit, flip and dive crap. And to them, they would probably say that's not exactly pro wrestling either. You know, being a fucking flips and dives gymnastics carny is not what pro wrestling is based on. I love the fact that we have evolved skill-wise. And I love a lot of the fucking matches where you have some crazy spots and some fun spots. You don't necessarily have to be a ping pong ball because then I can't keep up with you, nor can you, the performer, sell correctly. When you are just, will you shut the fuck up? I got fucking Lawn Mowing Larry weed whacking Willie out there, fucking cutting a fucking live stream. These fucking assholes. I'll come out with my fucking drill, motherfucker. I'll take Tommaso's drill. Tommaso the Toolman Taylor. Dipshit. Fuck was I talking about? Oh, that pisses me off. What was I talking about? I don't even fucking know. It doesn't matter. I've been rambling for over 2 hours as it is. Oh yeah, wrestling is based on more than just flips and dives, guys. Wrestling didn't really become the fucking epicenter of the world like the 90s until we got fucking Uber with the stories. Hulk Hogan and them in the 80s started that with the larger-than-life characters and then the storytelling. And then in the 90s, the late 90s, they just took that to another stratosphere. And on a very real level, too. With storylines like Austin taking on his boss. I mean, that was every average person. NWO and the jumping ship. I mean, that was unlike anything we've ever seen. So you look at all of the highest points in pro wrestling. What was it based on? Larger-than-life characters and captivating storylines that had us on the edge of our seats, if not out of our seats, if not on the floor. Those are the highest peaks in wrestling history. Highest. So to think that just ping pong balls are going to be what elevates wrestling back to the promised land, I mean, that's too nerdy for BC, bro. I don't want to go anywhere where I'm just going to sit there and watch 10 ping pong ball multi-man schmoz wrestling matches. Entertain me with your never-ending non-selling. Everybody set up the next spot for one another, right? So you'll get 10 guys on the outside that's going to set up for one dipshit who's going to do a flip off the post, off the top of the rope. And 10 men are going to be there waiting to catch him. Yeah, that doesn't look funny and stupid as fuck. But that's the day and age that we're living in. These wrestlers are more worried about what flippity-doo-ha dive they can do instead of worrying about how their character is going to be captivated, right? Does your character work, bro? These wrestlers don't give a fuck. They don't have personality anymore either, most of them. They think, oh, if I can do a suicide dive, a 630, a moonsault, a Frankensteiner, a doohickey wahoo, people are going to see my work rate and think he's one of the best in the world. Fuck, that's nerdy to me. The shit is still predetermined, right? It's not an actual, who's going to really win this motherfucker based on sheer skill. So I'm watching average motherfuckers put on a predetermined motherfucking matchup, and it's ping pong balls, and I can't get invested. Wrestling is more than that. It's more than that, bro. We need stories that are just gonna fucking be like, dude, I can't wait to see what happens next with these dudes. We have not gotten that, and you know I'm right, bro. I know I'm harsh right now. I know I'm the only one to critique AEW as hard as I do WWE. Everybody else has their fucking AEW cock in their mouth, just like the WWE shills and fanboys. Right? These days, people don't even hide it. TK is fucking tweeting Brian Alvarez, and they're joking about how Alvarez is on the payroll. They're joking about it when everybody knows he has this fucking mouth securely around Khan's fucking dick. You got people fucking talking about AEW, saying they're doing it truthfully with AEW hats on, merchandise. Welcome! This is the fairest place you're gonna hear wrestling content. Here's who I'm supporting. Oh, don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. You don't need to know about that. Anyway, back to my fair critiques. Community is laughable, bro. It's laughable. And then I get booed? Well, Beasley's such an asshole. Why is Beasley so mean, man? He's such a frustrated, angry person. Yeah, because this shit sucks and it could be and should be so much better. Oh, I'm supposed to apologize because my standards are up here? Come on, bro. You guys are the best, man. I'm having a time of my fuck. I'm enjoying this shit, bro. Butterfly, Unique Butterfly with another 10 says whether people... Oh, no, I already got that. Yeah. Vince McMahon setting the tone of mixing pro wrestling with entertainment, and that's what people like BC love, man. I'm not a nerd that just wants to see people bounce around the ring like ping pong balls. If that's a big part of what AEW was supposed to be, then BC was never on board with that, guys. If you guys just watch AEW because you want to see the fucking ping pong balls and the fucking... I don't understand where do you think this is going? This shouldn't be on primetime television then. This should literally be just something you watch on a streaming service or on a fucking... at the local bingo hall. You'll get the same shit. You wonder why wrestling's in the shitter. BC's telling you why. If people don't want to fucking acknowledge it. That's on them. That's not on me. I know why wrestling is failing. I know why AEW cannot even hit 1 million consistently. I know why. The fourth one, 5 spot, not only can he help in the ratings, but he Mr. Rotunda, can damn show help on other storylines and develop other talents. So the fourth one is talking about Wyndham Rotunda, formerly known as Bray Wyatt. And the fourth one says not only can he help in the ratings, but he can also help other storylines and develop other talents. No doubt. Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt, is one of those dudes that just helps everybody around him because it's by proxy. I mean, he gives you a rub even if you don't want it. He's that type of dude. Fourth one, absolutely. And Derek Fleming Jr., 199. BC, stop. You're killing me at work with Ciampa. Laugh my ass off. Derek Fleming Jr. Hey, here's one for Derek Fleming Jr. while at work. Here he comes! Damn it! It's Tommaso, the Tool-Man Taylor! Tommaso's whipping off his fucking construction vest. His neon construction vest. He's chasing R-Truth for the 24/7 title. R-Truth is scared. He falls. Tommaso has the drill over R-Truth. What's gonna happen? We gotta go. See you next week, everybody. He's drilling him. By God, he's got a family. Anyway, that's for, who is that? That's Derek Fleming Jr. at work, man. I'm glad you're having fun with the stream, dude. Thanks for joining us. And I'm sure Derek is one of those 350 plus that has already given an amplified elbow or amplified fruit roll up to the like button as we go toward 400 live. You guys are really showing all those that come later that we kicked ass, man, and helping the algorithm. I appreciate it. I think, was Derek Fleming Jr. the last super? You guys showed up big time on this impromptu. No. We had another one, actually. Jimmy Fingers 19, who had some awesome ideas earlier. Jimmy Fingers 19 with a 519. Salute, Jimmy Fingers again. You're on point with it all today, BC. Skylar the Deer has more character and personality than the wrestlers today. And she is dead, or is she? We think she may have actually lived. Jimmy Fingers 19 is talking about Skylar the Deer. If you guys faithfully, religiously watch the channel, you know who Skylar the Deer is. There was a tragic situation several months ago. She may have made it, Jimmy Fingers. There's a little bit of backstory to that. When I have more time, maybe we'll discuss. But you are correct. Skylar has way more balls and way more personality and character than 90% plus of the wrestlers today. I understand, like Jimmy Fingers 19 knows, I understand gone are the days of Roddy Piper, Macho Man Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warriors, the Ric Flairs. I get it. But fuck, bro. Everybody just seems so bland in mid-card level. It's not just their size, where everybody seems like they're 5'9", 170 pounds soaking wet. I don't need them to be 6'5" and 320, but have a fucking personality, bro. Oh, man. I've been nursing this coffee to try to get through the whole thing. I forget, man. I have 250 fucking pods waiting to go, dude. You think I'm fucking around? These are all fresh coffees, guys. I got some traveling to do, but when I get back, man, we're gonna hit these coffees hard. But I'm trying only to drink one through the stream because I know I have a lot of traveling. I know I'm going to drink another 27 coffees on the road. Jimmy Fingers 19, I appreciate it. Now, was that the final super? Yes, it was. If I missed any, I will get it when the full list comes out. Don't worry. Just like yesterday when I missed a few supers, I went back and I got them today. I will do the same when the list comes out if I missed any. For all of you guys that sent the coffee over to BC, never needed. It's never needed. I'm going to have coffee regardless, but always appreciated. So I do appreciate it, but just know it's never needed, man. Even just stopping by and showing the love by just smashing that like button that's still there. I think it's still there anyway. They got rid of the dislike one. They don't do the dislike button anymore. That pissed off a lot of people on YouTube. I never looked at it anyway. I never did. So the like button should be there. Make sure you smash it. That's all I really need because that's going to help the algorithm. Thank you guys, man. You guys are thanking me. Jer9, thank you, BC, for the stream. Jer9, nah. Thank you, man. And all you guys, man. Jack Brewer, Gregory Ramos, Jeremy Jackson, Pile Driver Finisher, JR9 Gaming again, James Shrimp Fajitas, Dave Mealy, all my supers, guys, who I gave a shout out to, sent BC a coffee, all of you guys for sure. Marie Applewhite, who was up in this bitch, Renee G was up in here, Donzel, Santivia Major, Makai, Enforcer 2K9, Tony Pertita, Pimp Jesus was up in here, MGT, Connie Carroll, Iron Riaz, Sir Charles, NJPW Girl, Ashley Steggles, DeMonte Mabry. Whoo! You guys showed up, dog. Kazzy, thank you. Hopefully I said that, not Kazy. Could be Kazy, actually. Thank you. Dave Mealy, I definitely got. I'll get Dave again, man. Huge supporter. Big reason why we have so many fucking coffees. Wicked Bunny, King Wrestling, Godswilla, Rachel Rocca, Delano Steele, Beast Morgan. I know I'm probably missing some, man. Prince Maverick, Sean X, CT Hill, Big Nang with a 5 spot right at the end. Anyone know how Big E's doing? Has he given an update on how he's doing? I'd rather have him return later this year and rebuild and beat Roman than Cody. I would take Big E if they did it the right way, Big Nang, no doubt. I haven't checked up. He hasn't given a post in a while. I'm going to check that out within the next 24 hours, though, Big Nang. And hopefully I'll have more information as well. And I'm not just talking about seeing what he sent out. I know some people that kind of, in a roundabout way, know Big E. So I'm going to try to get that info, Big Nang. Hopefully by the next time that we meet up here in the chat. But Big Nang, appreciate that. And Big E for sure, man. I want to give a salute to Big E. Hopefully he's fucking rocking, dude. And getting better. Eddie, Dante Jaron 23. I didn't skip it, bro. I saw it. And as I always say, man, that's also a super who threw BC a coffee. So Dante Jaron 23. I got you. BC Stallion 199. BC, stop the bots to AEW. Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to. I'm not a tech guy myself. I don't do a lot of tech. I just said, even when there was a dislike button, I never even noticed it or anything, man. I had a one-track thing. I always looked at all the people that were showing the love. So the dislike button being gone doesn't do anything for BC. I literally never looked at it, guys. That's a true story for BC. And on top of that, I'm not a tech guy anyway. So anyway, it looks like Vince McMahon is sending bots to AEW, VC. We got to look into that. Oh, you guys, man. Much love. You guys are the best. And we'll do this again real soon, man. We got to hit the road. We got a lot to do, but that's it. You know what? I might make another coffee now. I have to run a few errands in the studio, and then I can get the fuck out. All right, yeah. Talking to myself. Hey, you know what I want to do? Sasha, don't hit BC's music. Let's hit Tommaso Ciampa's music. That's going to be his music in a few weeks when they change his name to Tommaso the Toolman Taylor. Let's hit the fucking music. Sasha. Here comes the Toolman, Tommaso. Thomas. Or Tommaso Taylor. I love it. That's Tommaso. That's Tommaso. PB Sillipride, 199. Sorry, I'm late. I've been sleeping. Over 2 hours of content. Go watch it, PB Sillipride. Much love and respect, bro. PB Sillipride. All right, let's play it out. Good shit. Good shit. Wait. I'm not done with that. Kick it up, Sasha. Check you guys.